Hey guys, Josh here from J Media. I'm happy that you guys have been commenting and liking my videos, so I'm deciding to do a few more. This particular video will be on Steadicam operation. So we have our typical Steadicam over here. This specific brand is the Lang P-03. And fortunately, it's extremely similar to the GlideCam, FlyCam, and Steadicam models. You have your 3-axis gimbal here, and your counterweight system over here, just like all the other stabilizers that use a gimbal. So it's very similar. So the techniques that you'll see in this video on how to operate your Steadicam or stabilizer will be extremely similar to all the other brands of stabilizers out there. Let's go ahead and cover the basics on how to operate your stabilizer here. Just grip it firmly, right or left hand, preferably the dominant hand that you have. And the biggest mistake that most people make is that they try to operate their Steadicam with one hand. Okay, it looks okay, but look how it's swaying back and forth. And how are you supposed to pan? That's the other thing. That's why God gave us two hands to operate a Steadicam properly, alright? So your left hand, is it going to be in your pocket? No. It's going to be helping your right hand. And what it's going to do, it's going to be panning and tilting. Another mistake I see people doing is that when they try to use their left hand to pan, they grip the post, the telescopic post, under the gimbal firmly like this. And they try and operate the Steadicam that way. That's not how you do it, guys. Sorry, I'm looking at the display. I should be looking at the lens at you guys, but yeah, this is not how you should be panning, okay? Since this gimbal is extremely sensitive to movements, you should only be using your thumb and two other fingers, or one other finger, and gently panning, gently. When you're doing moves like this, you want to be extremely gentle, nice and smooth. Alright? Like that. So that's practically how you want to be panning when you're following a subject or when you're shooting landscapes and other stuff like that. So it's really important that you lightly touch with your left hand below the gimbal on the stabilizer when panning. Okay, you want to assist the stabilizer. Assist, okay? You're not the priority. Your hand should not be the priority when panning. It should be the stabilizer. So you need to gently assist it, okay? These gimbals, if you turn, they will most likely, depending on the quality of the gimbal, they will turn with your body, okay? But sometimes when you want quick turns, your stabilizer or Steadicam will not react quick enough. That's when your hand comes in. That's when your left hand comes in. So if you want to do quick pans, boom. Boom. Okay? Boom, like that. Very quick. That's why you need to be extremely careful when operating a Steadicam with two hands. You don't want to grip the telescopic post too hard, because if you do, you're going to get some jittery movements. And that defeats the whole entire purpose of this cool design and the gimbal and all that stuff. You want that gliding stuff, that gliding movement. So that's why we gently, thumb back here, forefinger here, middle finger there. All right? Panning. Very smooth. I'm not swaying at all. Okay? Just like that. Now, a lot of people have been asking me what the differences are between the Optica stabilizers, that type of design, that arch design, similar to the Steadicam Merlins, and the GlideCam design, which is presented here. I want to be honest with you guys, the Steadicam Merlin is not worth the price. $900 for that type of device is not good, and I'll tell you why. If you're doing a lot of tracking shots with a Steadicam of any kind, you know, stabilizer, you're gonna need something heavy, durable. If you're gonna be running outside, how fast you move the stabilizer, there's gonna be wind pressing against the camera, and that's gonna be tilting it and making it sway. Now the problem with the Steadicam Merlin is that it's really light. It sounds good that it's light, but it's actually very bad, because the lighter the stabilizer, the more easily it is affected by wind. That's why the GlideCam style stabilizers are way better, and way cheaper. Couple $100s cheaper actually. So I suggest that instead of spending $800 to $900 on the Steadicam Merlins, go with the GlideCams, okay? GlideCams, the lens are superb. $300 and you're getting a telescopic carbon fiber post. GlideCam doesn't even have that. They only use aluminum. And if you watch my other video on the review of this product, you'll be amazed on how much you could do with this for only $300. I also did a review on the SteadyVid Pro by Optica, and I was actually impressed with the quality shots that I got with it. But the build quality is not that great. So what's really cool about these types of stabilizers is that you can simulate dolly movements and slider movements. Let's go ahead and talk about grip styles. Alright, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", and I know that a lot of you are a lot taller than me, right? 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", who are taking up this cool hobby of film and buying these types of stabilizers. But here's one problem with the GlideCam stabilizers that a lot of people are facing. If you want to do a lot of low angle shots, and you want to lift up this bar here, on the GlideCam stabilizers you can't adjust the position of the gimbal, which means that if you try to do low angle shots, the bar is going to hit the bottom part of your mounting plate for your camera, and that's a huge problem. Now for those of you who are using GlideCams, I know this is going to seem tough, but roll with me on this one. Instead of holding like this, switch it to like this, and you'll be able to go even lower. It's very difficult. You might want to go through some forearm exercises at the gym, but you'll get it. You know, without a vest, it's difficult, period, just to have a stabilizer. With the Lang stabilizers, all I have to do, move the gimbal down, and I have plenty of space to work with. Now, the last thing I want to cover is weight. How much should your stabilizer weigh? The easiest answer, the simplest answer is, as light as it can be. I know it's a little contradictory to what I was saying before about the Steadicam Merlin, but since these stabilizers are a lot heavier than the Steadicam Merlin, you should put a lighter camera on top. Now for you 5D Mark II, Mark III users, you're gonna get a heavy camera. So what's the only option that you have? Put on a light lens, okay? Prime lenses. Only very few elements of glass in there, and you get pretty good shots, all right? So I do recommend using prime lenses on these types of stabilizers because they are indeed very light. On my other videos, I used a zoom lens. Very heavy, okay? Using a zoom lens, this whole entire setup was about 9.5 pounds. With this lens, it's about 6.5, 7 pounds. So you save a couple pounds there, so it's pretty good. So I suggest putting a lighter lens on your camera with a heavier stabilizer. The Steadicam Merlin, you can put whatever lens you want on there, but you want to avoid being too top heavy because then you're going to get that wobbling there. And lastly, guys, this is not a magic wand, so if you're thinking about picking this up, buying it, using it, it's going to take hours and hours of practice, alright? Just to get it balanced will take you a long time, because if you're an amateur, you got to work through trial and error. That's the best way to learn, trial and error. My first stabilizer was the Optica Pro, SteadyVid Pro, and it took me 3.5 hours to stabilize, or to balance. And this one took me 15 minutes. Now, I'm gonna stop talking. You guys need to go out and start practicing your shots. If you have any more questions, please comment below or email me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. I will do a balancing video of this type of unit. It's extremely similar to the GlideCams, so if you have a GlideCam and not a Lang stabilizer, it will help you out. It's the same practical design, alright? Just a few minor different things, but if you know how to balance this type of stabilizer, you'll know how to balance all of them. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.